It's only a kick, a jump, a block. It's only a serve. It's only a tackle, a run. It's only for the fans. After all, it's only pressure. You got this. Adidas.
With threats to our nation waiting around every corner, adaptability is more important than ever. When conditions change without notice, quick strategic thinking is crucial. And with obstacles consistently impending, determination is essential in overcoming them. It's this willingness, decisiveness, and resilience that sets Marines apart. With our fighting spirit, we don't just fight battles, we win them. Marines are the constant our nation counts on to fight the unknown. And through adaptable problem solving, we do just that. Learn more at marines.com.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. From the launch your online shop stage, all the way to the we just hit 1 million orders stage. No matter what stage you're in, Shopify's there to help you grow. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/special offer, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/special offer.
I'm Alex Rodriguez.
And I'm Jason Kelly.
From Bloomberg, this is The Deal. Each week, you'll hear us in conversation with business icons.
This show will explore deal-making across sports, media, and entertainment.
That is a harsh lesson in business.
Sports is not as simple as bringing a bunch of big names together.
I didn't want to do another stomp you out speech.
It opened up so many more doors.
The show is called The Deal.
Listen to The Deal.
Listen to The Deal on Spotify.
Welcome back, Ram fans. This is Rams Up, your favorite LA Rams podcast. We are proud members of the Fans First Sports Network. That's fansfirstsports.com. You can also follow us on YouTube. Our channel is at LA Rams Up. I'm your host, Mark. You'll hear from my co-host, Tom, on occasion as well. Hey, we're not Rams insiders. We're just longtime fans who love talking about our Los Angeles Rams. Let's get to it. Welcome back, Ram fans.
Before we get started,
our off-season segments.
Pre-recorded content.
We're out of the office, sharing some pre-recorded content that we think you'll enjoy.
Ram news, you won't
Before
find
we
it on
get
this
started,
episode.
I'm going to open up with a trivia question.
When we get back.
Answer at the end. You know, when the Rams drafted Todd Gurley and Aaron Donald, they were not drafting for need. Absolutely not. They were drafting the best player available. And I've mentioned, I think the Rams were in a really good spot as far as the running back room when they drafted Todd Gurley. And they had 3 guys on their roster that I thought had a lot of potential. And I'm just wondering, how many of you know who led the Rams in rushing in 2014, the year before Todd Gurley's arrival? I'll have the answer for you at the end. Now, the Rams have been very good over the years in letting their free agents walk. Don't try to hang on to players longer than they should. And for the most part, they have made really good decisions in that regard. But are there players that the Rams might have hung on to a little bit longer? Players that maybe, just maybe, could have really continued to contribute to the Rams. Now, some of these guys were let go for salary concerns. Some of them were let go because the Rams made an error in judgment. And there's a few guys that, they just decided it was time for them to move on. Greener pastures, better opportunities elsewhere. But there's a handful of guys that I think if the Rams had to do it over again, they definitely hang on to. And some other guys that, hey, salute to them. They moved on and continued to have pretty productive careers. Number 1 on my list is John Franklin Myers, a 6'4", 288-pound defensive end out of Stephen F. Austin. Rams drafted him in the 4th round of the 2018 draft. Spent 1 year for the Rams, 0 starts, 10 tackles, and then before the start of his second season with the Rams, he was waived and immediately claimed by the Jets, where he's gone on to have a pretty nice career. 4 years with the Jets, 52 starts, 17 and a half sacks. Now, not necessarily a remarkable career, but a guy I think, if we had kept him, he would have definitely been a contributor. Number 2 on my list, Roger Saffold, the Rams' first pick of the second round in the 2010 draft out of Indiana. Now, after he played out his rookie contract, he had signed a 5-year, $42.5 million contract with the Raiders, but they had a disagreement on Saffold's physical condition, and he returned to the Rams for another 5 years, a smaller contract than he was going to get from the Raiders, and he played really well, helped the Rams get to a Super Bowl. So maybe this is a guy that got away from the Raiders as much as the Rams. Eventually left the Rams, had 3 productive years with the Titans, and then on to the Bills. Now, I don't think it was a great loss watching Roger Saffold walk after all those years with the Rams, but man, he was a really good offensive lineman, really solidified our offensive line. And I still remember him laying some blocks for Todd Gurley. Man, great memories with Roger Saffold. Next up, number 3, how about Josh Reynolds? Another guy drafted in the 4th round. Rams selected him in the 2017 draft. Spent 4 years with the Rams, mildly productive, 113 receptions, 1,450 yards, and 9 TDs. Moved on, spent 1 year in Tennessee, much ado about nothing there. Then 3 years with the Lions, 97 catches for 1,393 yards and 10 TDs. So similar to what he had done with the Rams, he definitely could have been an option as our number 3 receiver or even our number 4 guy. I think this was more about Reynolds wanting an opportunity to get more snaps, elevate his career, and that's why he moved on. But hey, salute to Josh Reynolds, has put together a nice career, kind of a crappy ending there in Detroit. Pretty good wide receiver. Another wide receiver on my list, number 4 on this list, Danny Amendola. 4 years with the Rams, over 1,700 yards receiving, just 7 TDs though. Moved on to New England, 5 years there, 2,383 yards, 10 TDs, and most importantly, 2 Super Bowl titles. And he was a prolific returner as well. And again, I don't think this was a case of the Rams moving on from Danny Amendola. It was more of a case of Amendola moving on from the Rams. And that was in those sad, dark days of the St. Louis Rams. Can hardly blame them. 5th on my list is a quarterback, Ryan Fitzpatrick, drafted by the Rams in the 7th round, 250th overall in the 2005 draft. Spent just 2 years with the Rams, 3 starts, 777 yards. Man, that's a nice number in Vegas. 4 TDs and 8 interceptions. And right before the start of the 2007 season, Fitzpatrick was traded to the Cincinnati Bengals for a 7th round pick in the next year's draft. On his career, Fitzpatrick, 9 different teams, 223 TDs, and just short of 35,000 yards. And I don't think Ryan Fitzpatrick was going to win any Super Bowl titles for the Rams, but he's probably better than a handful of quarterbacks we ran out there while he was playing elsewhere.
I'm Alex Rodriguez.
And I'm Jason Kelly.
From Bloomberg, this is The Deal. Each week, you'll hear us in conversation with business icons.
This show will explore deal-making across sports, media, and entertainment.
That is a harsh lesson in business.
Sports is not as simple as bringing a bunch of big names together.
I didn't want to do another stomp you out speech.
It opened up so many more doors.
The show is called The
Deal.
Listen to The Deal.
Listen to The Deal on Spotify.
This episode is supported by FX's Clipped, the scandalous story of the 2014 Clippers owner's racist remarks captured on tape and heard around the world. The series charts the tape's impact on a dysfunctional basketball organization striving to win against their reputation as the most cursed team in the league. Starring Lawrence Fishburne, Jackie Weaver, Cleopatra Coleman, and Ed O'Neill. FX's Clipped, streaming June 4th, only on Hulu.
Hey, it's Kaylee Cuoco for Priceline. Ready to go to your happy place for a happy price? Well, why didn't you say so? Just download the Priceline app right now and save up to 60% on hotels. So whether it's Cousin Kevin's Kazoo Concert in Kansas City, go Kevin, or Becky's Bachelorette Bash in Bermuda, you never have to miss a trip ever again. So download the Priceline app today. Your savings are waiting.
Go to your happy place for a happy price. Go to your happy price, Priceline.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, oh, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Who else we got? How about Robert Quinn, 6th on my list, 7 years with the Rams, 62.5 sacks, and then he was traded to the Dolphins for a 4th-round pick, which the Rams used to draft Brian Allen. They also swapped 6th-round picks. Robert Quinn. Quinn had 39.5 sacks after he left the Rams, and this was probably a move the Rams had to make. Weren't willing to pay Quinn the money that he was going to get elsewhere for sure. But man, he was a really good player and continued to play at a very high level after he left the Rams. And then there's one of Quinn's teammates, 7th on my list, Chris Long. One of my favorite people as far as former NFL players go. Played 8 seasons for the Rams, and after he left the Rams, played 3 more years and won 2 Super Bowls, one with the Eagles and one with the Patriots. And yeah, he was still playing pretty good football. Now, following up Robert Quinn and Chris Long with E.J. Gaines may seem like a reach, but Gaines is 8th on my list, selected by the Rams in the 6th round of the 2014 draft, and played really well his rookie year. 70 tackles, 14 passes defended, 2 interceptions, earned him a spot on the PFWA All-Rookie team. Missed the 2015 season with a Lisfranc injury, and then in 2017 the Rams traded Gaines in their 2nd-round pick to the Buffalo Bills for Sammy Watkins, and that was a trade that made sense, but E.J. Gaines was a pretty good player. Started 11 games in 2017 for the Bills. Kind of tailed off after that, but he was a decent player. Number 9 on my list, hey, we got to include Jared Goff. We all like the trade the Rams made moving on from Jared Goff, but let's face it, for the Rams, 78 TDs and over 12,000 yards since he left. Hey, he played in an NFC Championship game and he's playing at a really high level, and this is one we'll have to revisit down the road. See how we feel about Jared Goff 5 years from now. Man, the Rams moved away from him very early in his career, and Goff's a guy that stays healthy, so he has a lot of games in front of him. Number 10 on my list, I'm going to jump into my Wayback Machine to the days of Dick Night Train Lane. Now, he played for the Rams for 2 years in 1952 and 1953, and then the Rams traded him to the Cardinals. After he left the Rams, 6 years with the Cardinals, 6 years with the Lions, a 7-time first-team All-Pro, and a member of the Hall of Fame. Yeah, the Rams can claim credit for Dick Night Train Lane, but most of his glory days were with other teams after the Rams traded him. Number 11, Jack Hacksaw Reynolds. Played linebacker at the University of Tennessee. He was actually a converted fullback. And after playing for the Rams for 10 years, was released, and the 49ers signed him. Hacksaw was a key member of that 49er defense for 4 years in that Bill Walsh era. And another linebacker that the Rams moved on from, Kevin Green. Rams' fifth-round success goes all the way back to 1985 when the Rams drafted Green. 8 years with the Rams and then signed with the Steelers as a free agent. 3 years with the Steelers and then 3 with the Panthers. He had 77 sacks after leaving the Rams. Another member of the Hall of Fame. Most of his career with the Rams, but I think most fans probably associate him with the Steelers first. Kind of sucks, but I think it's the truth. Rams should have found a way to keep him. Number 13 on my list is another guy that left the Rams for the Steelers. The 10th overall selection of the 93 draft, Jerome Bettis. Played for the Rams for 3 years, 796 carries, and over 3,000 yards and 13 TDs for the Rams. And then on draft day in 1996, the Rams traded Bettis to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Rams parlayed the picks they got from the Steelers into Ernie Conwell and Ryan Tucker. So those are 2 decent players, but man, Bettis with the Steelers, 10 years, 2,683 carries and over 10,000 yards and 78 TDs. Jerome the Bus Bettis, 6-time Pro Bowler, and yet another member of the Hall of Fame. And the last guy on my list, number 14, Kurt Warner. 6 years with the Rams, 2 Super Bowls, including 1 win, threw for 102 TDs and over 14,000 yards for the Rams in that greatest show on turf era. Then there was that opening day where Warner fumbled 6 times against the New York Giants, found out that his broken hand had not fully healed, and they gave the job to Mark Bulger, and that was pretty much the end of Warner's days with the Rams. Spent 1 year with the Giants and then 5 years with Arizona. Took the Cardinals to a Super Bowl while throwing for over 15,000 yards and another 100 TDs. Again, I mean, Bulger was good. Bulger was okay, but maybe we should have kept Kurt Warner. So those are the 14 guys the Rams moved on from, or guys that moved on from the Rams. Some of them probably should have kept. A few of them should have done everything to convince them to stay. And others, you know what? It was just in the cards. They are ready to move on from our Rams. Hey, Rams have been great at figuring out who to keep and who to move on from, but there have been a handful of misses and maybe ones that we'd want do-overs on. And the answer to my question, who led the Rams in rushing the year before Todd Gurley was drafted? They had 3 guys that I really liked, and that's why I was so stunned when they drafted Gurley. Turned out Les Snead got it right. They had 3 in the room. Who were they? Trey Mason, Zach Stacy, and Benny Cunningham. Remember these 3 guys? Mason actually led the team in rushing, 765 yards and 4 TDs. Stacy and Cunningham bringing up the rear. Now, numbers weren't great, but I thought they were all pretty talented. And then they went and drafted Todd Gurley, and man, changed this franchise forever, really. But that's the answer. The Rams' leading rusher in 2014, Trey Mason, 179 carries, 765 yards, and 4 TDs. Rams actually had 3 other guys with more than 200 yards rushing: Zach Stacy, Benny Cunningham, and Tavon Austin. That's going to do it for this episode. Remember, you can reach us at ramsuppodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget about our YouTube channel. Our handle is at laramsup.com. Till next time, keep the horns up, stay safe, and have fun out there.